that match is lit and it seems like everything has exploded. What do you do? What do you do? Do you guys, run the separate, corners and just bear down and deal with it separately, or do you draw near together? And I think how couples cope with loss or cope with grief of infertility, it plays a big factor on whether or not they make it.
Right.
And not doing the blame game.
Exactly.
Not blaming your spouse and saying it's your fault that, this happened, or it's, and did you feel that? Was there any time at any point where you were afraid that he may have blamed you, or he may be looking at you like, oh, my wife is defective, or, whatever, like?
I thought that, especially after we lost our son, after we lost our daughter, I was like, okay, the doctor said this will never happen again. And so I believed that, I held on to that, and I was like, this won't happen again. It was the inexplicable stillbirth. And so since they weren't able to explain it at that point, I just held on to the fact that, okay, the doctor said this will never, ever happen again. So I didn't really blame myself, and I didn't think about whether or not he blamed me. But after the loss of our son, it hit both of us so hard, and that's when I was just like, I wonder if he wished he had married someone else. And I wondered if he thinks that it is my fault, and if he looks at me as if, she's the cause of all this pain in our life. And so it was a struggle for me, but the thing that I would, definitely give him the credit that I would give him is that he would always, encourage me and reassure me that he did not blame me.
Yeah.
Despite what I said about myself and how I felt about myself, he would always, try to reassure me and comfort me. And I believed him. And so it helped me to get beyond that. But for a long time, even with that reassurance, for months after losing our son, I blame myself. I felt that, my body is defective and I don't know what's going on. I don't know why my husband sticks around, that sort of thing. So it was definitely a struggle to get beyond that. And I really think it's only by his love and his reassurance that I was able to finally move past that. So
I agree.
You ever feel that way?
Yeah, I'm like, a lot of times I'm like, yeah, he's probably looking at me like I married this woman with this useless uterus, and I'm never gonna have no kids, And so that same insecurity, that same, I wonder what he's thinking. I wonder if he regrets marrying me. I wonder if he's blaming me for, this difficulty that we're going through, this journey, us not being able to get pregnant, and it would make me feel sad. It would, because I'm like, is it my fault? Is my uterus useless? And I would just go back and to think about, different things, and I'm wondering, yeah, it's my fault. Yeah, maybe I should just let him go, and so that he can have the children that he deserves. But then I'm like, no, rebuke it, because I know what God promised me. So I'm going to hold fast to that promise and know that we're going to have children and keep the faith. And he was encouraging. He never once made me feel like it was my fault, or that, I was this broken person, and, he wished that he could, return to sender. Like this gift is defective. Can I return this thing? So I'm grateful for that, that he encouraged me, and he was like, no. And, that he would tell me, even if it wasn't meant for, us to be, I still love you. I'm staying with you. We're in this together. Yeah. And that is important to hone in your marriage. You're in this together. You're in this together. As husbands and wives, you're in this together. So if you're going through something like this and you feel like you're alone, or you feel like it's tearing your union apart, remember that you guys are fighting an enemy, but you're on the same team. So you're in this together. So cling to your teammate, and, rest on each other's shoulders. And when one is weak, the other can be strong, and vice versa. Be each other's pillar of strength and of courage and of love. And, focus on the positive things about your marriage and focus on the things that you enjoy with each other and the reasons why you got married in the first place. And let that be your strength and guide, and to get you through those difficult times and through those times where you feel like your marriage is under fire.
And one other thing to remember is that your husband or your partner is grieving as well. And so that was something that I felt a lot of people missed. You know, they would ask me, how are you doing? But they would forget about him. And so that's something, of course, you know, we want to lean on our partner, but we also want to remember that they're grieving as well.
Exactly.
So you want to be a support even in the midst of your chaotic mind and, you know, everything that is going on as you try to pick yourself up. Even if it's just encouraging your husband to seek counseling, or, you know, find someone that they can lean on outside of you if you feel that you can't provide that support. But just remember that they are grieving as well. They suffer a loss as well, or they're, you know, they want to shout and they are suffering.
So remember just to be kind to one another and to just encourage one another, because your spouse is all you got. It's who God connected you with. And so it's a union that you should always strive to continue to cultivate that level of trust, that, you know, honor, that care, that love for one another. And as you move forward, you'll see your marriage get stronger and stronger as the day goes by. So I hope that you guys are encouraged by what you heard, and that you guys find inspiration in us sharing our stories and being open and honest, and that it helps you to be able to be open and honest with your spouse and talking about what you may be going through. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Remember, it's one step at a time.
One day at a time.
We're in this together.